back to channel. Today we are going to see about cestoda. So in cestoda we have all members which are flat, segmented, and they are worms and obligate parasite, that is they require compulsory organism, that is host to live in, of the intestinal tract. Mainly they live in the intestine. So here we have the Taenia solium, Taenia saginata, and also Echinococcus granulosus. So solium is present in the porkworm, saginata in the beef tapeworm, and the granulosus is a dog tapeworm. First let us understand about the solium. So the solium, actually it got its name because of conventional figures of the sun. It's rostellum. You can see this is the rostellum. Its rostellum looks like a sun convolution, so it got its name solium. And its geographical distribution is of course worldwide, and it is mainly due to the insufficiently cooked mealy pork, and it is mainly seen in India because in Muslims, not in all forms of people. And habitat, this mainly lives in a smaller intestine, especially in the upper jejunum. So let us see its morphology. Here we have three forms, that is the adult, egg, and the larva. So the adult form is ribbon-like, milky white, 2 to 4 meter long, and it has a scolex, neck, strobila. What is scolex? Scolex is nothing but head, neck, and strobila. This strobila is again divided into three forms, that is the immature form, mature form, and the gravid. So what are those? Let us understand. So first let us understand about the scolex. So scolex is nothing but head. It has 2 rows of hooklets and the rostellum with the 4 suckers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So scolex measures about 0.6 to 1 meter in diameter and has a beak-like apical protrusion known as rostellum. You have seen it, and it is armed with the 2 rows of hooklets. So remember, 2 rows of hooklets. And scolex bears 4 cup-like muscular suckers, which helps in attachments, where it attaches actually in a small intestine, and from that sucker it obtains our nutrients. So neck is 5 to 10 meters long, the narrow growing region from which the proglottis arises. So what is this proglottis? We'll understand now. So the strobila is divided into undifferentiated, immature, mature means differentiated, and the gravid. So here you can see this is in the mature form. Actually this is an hermaphrodite, that is both male and female are present in the same form. So in the mature form it has mainly the genital pore, uterus, testis, and ovary. So you can see only in the mature segment. So gravid is after the mature one, right? First immature, mature, and gravid. So this gravid segment, with the growth of the mature, the male and female reproductive organs fade away. So just keep the uterus and the genital pore. So uterus bears 7 to 13 lateral branches which come out of the trunk. So you can see the lateral branches. What are those? 7 to 13 lateral branches. This is very, very important because we need to differentiate it from saginata. We'll next learn about it. So this is a uterus, this is a genital pore present in a solium. So solium, you can see it's somewhat small, but saginata you can see it's very big, big in length. So you can see the adult worm features length. In solium 2 to 4 meters, but saginata 4 to 6 meters more, you can see yes. And head or scolex, small and globular. It has small globular, bears the rostellum with 2 rows of hooklets. We have understood it just now, but this saginata has a large and quadrangular. So remember that here small and globular head, but here the head is quadrangular. This is very important feature, quadrangular head, no rostellum, no hooklets. So you can imagine the picture of saginata after learning solium. Of course, remember, no head, no rostellum, no hooklets, then only quadrangular shape head. Sorry, not no head is there, but no rostellum, no hooklets, only quadrangular shape, large. And neck is shorter in the solium, yes, of course, just now we have learned, and longer in the saginata. We were going to see that. Uterus gravid. So bears, uterus are actually present in the gravid, as I said, all fade away in the mature, and at last only uterus and genital pore remain. So it bears in 17 to 13 lateral branches each side. As I said, it is important, 17 to 13 lateral. Here only 15 to 20 more lateral branches are present in the saginata. So branches each side, both are present in gravid only. So here you can see the saginata, it has head which is quadrangular, but only 4 suckers, no rostellum, no hooklets. And solium, of course, suckers, hooklets in 2 rows, and also rostellum. And next we need to differentiate even the gravid part, that is uterus and genital pore part. So you can see the gravid of saginata, how it is looking. It is having more lateral sides, as I discussed here, 15 to 20 lateral branches. And here only 17 to 13 lateral branches, that is so less lateral branches. So remember, Solium has less lateral branches, so you can see more gaps, but here fully filled means more lateral branches, 15 to 20 lateral branches in the gravidum part. That is important. And next, coming to the egg. Egg has an outer shell, embryopore membrane, and a 6 hooked larva inside. So outer shell is we say capsule. It is filled with the yolk material. Sometimes they might be lost too. And next, one thing we need to remember: this outer shell is mainly because of yolk material. That is important. And next, coming to the embryophore membrane. It is the inner membrane surrounding the embryo inside. Of course, it is brown, thick walled, and the embryo or the oncosphere. So this is called as oncosphere. It has 6 hooked larvae. That is nothing but 3 hooked pairs, and contains 6 hooklets. This is important. 6 hooked pairs. And eggs of Saginata and Solium are indistinguishable from each other and are ineffective to cattle and pigs respectively. So egg is not the infective form. By this statement we can understand. Then what is infective form? The larval form is a infective form. So larval form, this is which is causing infection. This is known as Cysticercus. Is the larval stage of the tinea. Of course, both Saginata and Solium. It contains a muscular organ with a bladder like sac. It is called Cysticercus cellulosa in the Solium, Cysticercus bovis in the Saginata. So what are the infective forms in Solium? Then we need to say Cysticercus cellulosa. What is infective form in Saginata? Then we need to say Cysticercus bovis. So the larval stage of this T. Saginata and T. Solium is infected to the man to cause the intestinal teniasis. So teniasis is a disease caused by this Tinea, Solium or Saginata. Intestine, only in intestine. Then we call this. And it also goes to some other organs. We are going to see that. So remember, Cysticercus cellulosa, Cysticercus bovis. What is that? It contains a muscular organ with bladder-like sac. That is important. So you can say Cysticercus cellulosa. Cysticercus cellulosa means in Solium. So in Solium they are looking like this, which are the infective form to the human. So white in color and filled with the fluid. So understand the life cycle. So life cycle, first a man acquires infection by ingestion of undercooked beef containing, this is beef means you can understand, it is because it is of Saginata, containing the Cysticercus bovis. Of course, bovis is infective form, and the larva hatches out in the small intestines. Colex evaginates and anchors to intestine by the suckers and develops into adult worm in the small intestine. So the adult form forms in the small intestine, remember. And because the male and female are reproductive organs, fertilization occurs, of course, as their hermaphrodites are the same organs and in the same segment or different segments. So after 10 to 14 weeks, fertilization occurs, eggs are formed. Of course, if eggs are formed, they come out by the fecus of the man. So these eggs are formed and released to the fecus. Older gravid segments can break off from the long body and released in the fecus. Why only gravid segments? Because if you remember, gravid segments only have uterus, so only there is a chance to form eggs in this species. And so perhaps you can find the white segments in the feces. So if we observe even with our naked eye, we can see the fecus with white segments, and these eggs are ingested by cattle. So oncospheres, if you remember, egg is inside oncosphere, so that oncosphere hatches out and penetrates the intestine. So in the duodenum, the embryo fluid surrounding the egg ruptures, releasing the oncosphere. This is the before step. So first the embryo fluid ruptures. Of course, if embryo fluid ruptures, then only the oncosphere is exposed. So next, through circulation, the larva reaches the skeletal muscle via blood. Skeletal muscle, where it reaches? In the effective organ, that is here cattle, that is maybe a cow or a buffalo. So after 10 to 15 weeks later, Cysticercus bovis is formed. Cysticercus is the infective form. If you remember, this is the larval form. It is formed mainly in the skeletal muscles of a cattle. So man acquires infection again by this. So this cycle continues. So remember, but you should remember only one thing. Here only the cycle continues like this. There is no another external form to infect the man or either cattle. Only this cycle is continued. But Solium has another life cycle. We'll understand now. See, this is about Solium. So what happens when it causes intestinal teniasis? The life cycle is exactly similar to the T. Saginata. But if something outside, what is that? We'll see. So first, man acquires infection by ingestion of undercooked pork. There, of course, beef, here pork. And here is Cysticercus cellulosa, there Cysticercus bovis. So larva hatches out in the small intestine. So the Colex exvaginates and anchors to the intestine. Develops into the adult worm in the small intestine. So after 10 to 14 weeks, fertilization and eggs are formed in the fecus. So these eggs may directly enter the pig and form their infection, or these eggs are ingested by the pig and oncosphere hatches. Again same process, leaf reaches the skeletal muscle via blood and in the muscle, so cycle continues. So what you see in the solium, we feel sick, reverse peristaltic sometimes it again re-enters to our intestine instead of going out to the fecus, then it is known as reverse peristalsis, and eggs are back into the stomach. So if this occurs, this is known as auto-infection, because again the same infection is only because of us itself, not about any external agent. So here you can see about the auto-infection. So when it is causes intestinal teniasis of liver, exactly similar to Segineta. If not, then here we will see. So again this cycle we know till now, till here. So egg in the fecus. Now these eggs are ingested by pig. Then this continues. And if the external infection like ingestion of contaminated food or water with eggs, then it develops into the cysticercus in man, mainly CNS, eye, muscles. So mainly it enters the muscles. If it enters CNS, then it is known as neurocysticercus. Remember that point. And if it is to the external auto infection, that is by ingested unhygienic personal habits, again enters. And next internal auto infection, that is when the reverse peristalsis, again the same situation. So remember, whenever man gets it mainly attacks in the CNS. So cysticercus in the man. So summary of this both you can see. The host, man acts as both definitive and intermediate host in the solium, because when he is in the when he is definitive host, when he is in the auto infection, okay, and intermediate host, definitive host when pig is acting, and intermediate host when he himself cause infection, and pig acts as an intermediate host normally, we know that. Then man acts as definitive host. Then when human acts as intermediate host when he himself get the infection, and Taenia saginata only man acts as a definitive and beef acts as an intermediate host. It is normal clear process. And infected states eggs or cysticercus, and here also cysticercus. And mode of transmission, ingestion of contaminated food or water with eggs or undercooked pork, ingestion of undercooked beef, here only undercooked, but here because of contamination too. And parasitic parts, adult worms live in human intestine, cysticercus live in the tissues. This is important. Cysticercus in the tissues and adult worms live in the human intestine. So it is also possible for the people to ingest water and food contaminated with eggs in the Taenia saginata. Why can't people infect Taenia saginata eggs and act as intermediate hosts? So this is a thinking point. And pathogenesis, adult worms live in the human intestine, so then it is known as intestinal teniasis. So both saginata solium can cause intestinal teniatis. And cysticercus live in the tissues. This is known as cysticercosis. So Taenia solium can cause cysticercosis. So intestinal teniasis. So what happens? It's an asymptomatic. We don't show any symptoms. Patient become aware, most commonly by noting the passage of proglottids in their fecus. So proglottids means that gravid part, last part. And the proglottids are often motile, and patients may experience some perianal discomfort, pruritus, and when proglottids are discharged, and mild abdominal pain, discomfort, nausea, loss of appetite. All this change in bowel habit can occur. So occasionally obstruction by migrating proglottids result in appendicitis, also cholangitis. So what is cysticercosis? If you remember, this takes place in the tissues. So clinical spectra of the disease depend upon localization of the cyst. So though it discovered from any side of the body, the common sites are the central nervous system, subcutaneous tissue, and skeletal muscle and eye. If you remember, in man it mainly attacks on the CNS and also sometimes on subcutaneous tissue, skeletal muscles, eyes. So it is frequently asymptomatic. The occurrence of firm nodules in muscles, subcutaneous tissue may cause muscle pain, cramping, fatigue, sometimes pseudo muscle hypertrophy. So you can see how it is, how they are protruding. These are all the Taenia solium. See how he affected with this. And ocular, then what happens to eyes? It involves conjunctiva, vitreous body, retina, and so common symptoms like proptosis, diplopia, loss of vision, slow growing nodule with focal inflammation. So you can see even in the eye it has entered like this. Cysticercus forms. And neurocysticercosis, which is important in most common accounts, 60 to 90% cases. So it is considered most parasitic infection of man, most common cause, adult onset epilepsy throughout the world. So neurocyst is very dangerous when it goes to the brain, you can see. So epidemiology, Infection is common in cattle breeding areas of world, highest prevalence Central Asia, Central East Africa. Ancestorosis is major public health problem, especially in development, because it is mainly based on hygienic habits, because it's auto-infection. Even if you don't eat pork, it may attack you. So laboratory diagnosis, because Taenia solium saginata all cause intestinal, so of course we need to take the stool here. So stool, we can see characteristics of egg, and less often prolactis of Taenia can be done by direct smear. So eggs, prolactis and scolex you can observe. And Taenia specific antigen, antigen detection by ELISA, antibody detection in serum and molecular methods, we can use PCR2. And cystocorosis, where we do the CT scan, MRI, because it reaches brain and also other parts, so we can observe it by CT and MRI. And immunodiagnosis, antibody detection and antigen detection, and also lymphocyte transportation. And one more thing you remember, lymphocyte means actually in these cases we see there is eosinophilia, that is high amount of eosinophils against them, so this is one of the sign. And absolute criteria, you can take even biopsy to detect, and visualization by eye by fundoscopy, and also you can do CT MRI of brain, detect lesions, especially in NCC, that is neurocystosclerosis. And also cyst will characterize scolex. And treatment, of course the drug of choice is praziquantel, and single dose is highly effective. For schistosomiasis, we also related to parasitic site and number of pathogens. We also recommend another treatment, that is we give the nicotinamide, and for cerebral schistosis we usually give praziquantel. So this is about the treatment. And next, coming here, you can see some of the other treatment sites about antiparasitic agents, symptomatic treatment, and also surgery. Sometimes, of course, if it grows brains, we need to do surgery. And prevention, intestinal, for intestinal adequate cooking, and for cystocorosis, good hygiene, of course, and effective fecal disposal to prevent contaminated food and water with eggs. Treatment and prevention of human intestinal infections. So vaccines to prevent the porcine cysticercosis, they are under development. So sometimes if we give vaccine directly to the pig, then it may also not affect us, because it's the main source of the problem. So this is all about Taenia solium and saginata.